Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Morning Brew with your girl Germaine. And guess what day it is? You've guessed it. It is Authors Brew Friday. And yes, we do have a special author in studio with us today. And I am so excited to be talking with her about her journey, her story, and not one, but the two books we helped assist in publishing with her. So, let me give you a little background, right? Today's brew is going to be all about therapy for the soul. Whew, how many can use a little therapy for the soul? I'm going to raise my hand first. Now, as my coffee is brewing in the back, because you know I need to get that little shot of caffeine that I'm going to have to stop taking that caffeine, right? But let me just give you a little backdrop on our special author in studio today, Miss Lavette Pressey. Okay, today's guest, she's not just an author. She is a truth teller, identity restorer, and voice of resilience for everyone who has ever questioned their worth. Lavette Pressey brings raw truth. Let me stop getting tongue tied. Lavette Pressey brings raw transparency and spiritual insight to the pages with her powerful books. Like I said, not one, but two: Unmasking the Real Me, From Struggle to Strength, an honest and liberating journey of shedding shame, facing inner battles, and rising in authenticity. In her second book, Broken Mirrors, Revealing the Identity Crisis. Oh my gosh, that title by itself says it all, right?
Mhm.
Let me just give you a little more insight before I bring her up. A compelling look at how distorted self image, past trauma, and emotional rejection can shatter our view. Our view of who we truly are and how healing begins when we confront the cracks. Well, let me just bring her in so we can get into this. Hello, Miss Lavette Pressey. How are you today?
Hey, Germaine, guess what?
What did
I
you
bought
do?
you a coffee today.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you so much. So let me tell everyone out there what that means. So, we have this platform that we absolutely love, engaging with authors, with people from everyday walk of life, from those
Mhm.
that are special, that are experts in their industry. On our Authors Brew Monday, not Authors Brew Monday, it's Authors Brew Friday and it's Mixed
Monday,
Blend
yeah.
Wednesdays, right?
Mhm.
So she bought me a coffee, which means she is a supporter of Morning Brew with Germaine. So I'm going to
Yeah.
just share how you too can become a supporter of Morning Brew with Germaine. If you find any value, if you're taking away any inspiration, encouragement, you know, on this journey, and we could be a part of your journey, all I ask is that maybe you might like to share by buying me a coffee or maybe buying others a coffee in support
Mhm.
of Morning Brew with Jermaine. So all you have to do is go to buymeacoffee.com/, Morning Brew with Jermaine. All right, enough about me. Let's get into this. All right. Okay. Most people focus on writing one book at a time. You, Miss Superwoman, you come to me with two books.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm I'm going to share this with you, Germaine. Thank you, first of all, for this opportunity. But I
Yeah.
will say this: um, they're sister books, believe it or not.
Okay.
One is about talking about my brokenness, my story, my journey.
Okay.
And Broken Mirrors is talking about all of our brokenness and how we can allow all these fragmented pieces from all the masks that we wear. And we will allow God to take all of these pieces and allow Him to mend everything back together to make us better.
Oh my goodness. While you're expounding, because I know we're about to really get into it. I just wanted to bring up the two covers that people can actually go to Amazon and purchase
Yeah,
copies of these books, right?
yes,
Um,
yes.
because after we finish today on this coffee break, Brew, definitely going to want to invest for your library a copy of these books. So let's get into it. But before we do, I'm mixing my coffee up. And while I'm doing that, I just want to put up so people can have an easy way to click on and be able to go straight to Amazon and get their copy if you have
Yeah,
not received a copy yet. Okay. So
absolutely.
give them a few seconds. And before while that's up, I just want to give some shout outs to those that are joining in the conversation. We have Desi underscore Will over on Instagram and Jesse Moss 92775. Hey Jesse, good to see you back, Jesse. And so normally I like to do this to let you know who's in the conversation, because people, if they
Yeah,
have questions, we definitely welcome questions. Okay.
absolutely. Yes.
All right. So okay, let's get into it. Right now, you have the two books, Unmasking the Real Me from
Yeah.
Struggle to Strength, as
Yes.
well as Broken Mirrors, Revealing the Identity Crisis. I want to take it back. What even inspired you to want to become so vulnerable and naked by sharing these stories with the world to be able to help teach the next one?
Well, that's a good question. Now, I'm going to tell you, Unmasking the Real Me, the first chapter of this book was written 10 years ago.
Mm.
And I was like, you know how you walk around and everybody think their lives are so perfect. And after writing Unmasking the Real Me, I realized that my life for many years was nothing but a performance. It
Oh,
was a performance only because I was layered up and layered up and layered up in a whole bunch of different masks where I didn't have the opportunity to really know who I truly was underneath all those masks. So what happened was, right around the time my sister had gotten sick, the beginning part of this year and later past this year in April, um, I began writing and I began removing layers and layers. And one night I just began speaking into my phone. And believe it or not, I was speaking into my phone. Each night I would come home and I would be speaking into my phone. And then something told me to go to, chat. So I
yes,
was speaking into chat. So chat was like, wow, breaking all these
yes,
words up for me. And before you know it, I had like 3 or 4 chapters.
yeah.
And I was, each night I was writing Unmasking the Real Me. I was just crying so hard. I was like, why
Mm.
am I crying as I'm writing these things? Do you know why? Because I was so broken to the point that I did not know how broken I was. I was performing
Mm.
under all of these masks. So that's where Unmasking the Real Me came from, as a result of me pouring myself out in my phone every night. I couldn't wait. It was like God was pouring through me.
Yes.
I couldn't wait to leave from work. I couldn't wait to leave from church. It was like soon as, and I did this for like 6 months, Germaine, for like six
Wow.
whole months.
I get
Every
it.
single day, I was just running, talking into my phone. I said, is this normal? This couldn't possibly be normal. I'm talking into my phone. And before you know it, Unmasking the Real Me was birthed. And then it was so real because as I was unmasking, I did not realize I was performing under all of these layers. And
Wow.
I became a little, um, what you call when you have a feeling where you can feel like I was feeling sympathy. I was feeling all along. I was just feeling like I was this hard rock. Like I couldn't
Wow.
cry. I wasn't able to cry. I was just like performing under, going to pray for this person and going to listen to this person's problem and then masking my own problems. And it was just so much that I had on me at that particular moment. But as I unmasked myself, I had to reintroduce myself to Lavette Pressey. And I
Yes.
was like, wow, underneath all of that is this amazing person that I didn't get a chance to know all these years.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love when you said that. There's a few things that I just want to unpack that you just shared. You were actually grieving for yourself in that when you
Oh,
were saying that you were crying and
yes.
feeling sympathy for yourself. You were
Yeah,
actually discovering the real true essence of you in the
that's it.
midst of it all. But isn't it amazing how you said it's almost like God had to pull you aside it's
Yeah.
like, let me lift you up out of all this chaos that's going on, right?
Hmm.
Because
Absolutely.
I need you to be still so you can begin to birth what I have inside of you. But I'm going
That
to
is
take you through
something.
something. I'm going to take you through something now. It ain't just going to be, oh, I'm just going to give you this and it's going to be all done. And I'm going to allow you to just put out all these books. You had to really go through a shedding and grieve yourself, grieve the old version of you to take on the
Mm,
new version of you.
that's true. And it's so crazy because these books were birthed out of pain. These books were birthed out of my own journey. I didn't
Mm,
just write words on a page. I lived these words.
yes.
I lived through these words, and God allowed me to walk through the pain, the betrayal, the loss, and brokenness. The brokenness. I didn't realize how broken I was. And that's where broken mirrors came in, because
Wow.
broken mirrors helped me to identify not only the identity crisis I was having, but I had the opportunity to see the identity crisis that was in the body of Christ. So I wrote
Mm.
about that so that the people in the body of Christ could also become free as a result of their mask that they have to unmask.
Oh, now you stepping all over people's stuff. You all up in people's stuff, right?
Well,
And
I
the
just
thing
want to help them. It helped me.
but you have to be completely honest with oneself. Even if it's not pretty, right? When you begin to look at yourself in that mirror and just maybe it wasn't I didn't like that old person, you know talk about that experience because broken mirrors at some point you looked in the mirror
I
and
did.
something happened.
And you know what? Looking in the mirror can sometimes give you the false sense of self, especially when you're all masked up. When you're masked, you're not really looking at the real person. You're looking at the performance of that person. You're looking at the person who's covered up under all the stuff that they went through in their past. As they're getting older, you're like, oh man, I never had a chance to really, live through this particular situation. I covered it up because I had to keep going on in life. So as you're looking in the mirror, now as I unmask, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that this
This is
person,
this is
this
me.
is me. And even prior to that, when you're a person who's masked up, you're so used to putting on so much stuff, a whole bunch of like I used to wear a lot of, well, I'm not going to say I'm done with it, but I never ever wore my own hair.
Okay.
So as a result of me unmasking, I had to come to grips with who I am. So I started, I cut my hair down and I wanted to be free. I wanted to feel free.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So as a result of that, I am okay with who I am. I don't care how people perceive, how they see, but I have to first be okay with who I am. And when
Oh,
you're unmasking yourself, when you're all masked up, you're so worried about how people see you. Oh my God, how do I look? Do you like this? Because if you don't like this, I'm not going to like this. But you have to be okay with who you are. But when you can find when you're still masked up, you're worried about how other people see you and perceive you. But when
oh my,
you are unmasked, you're okay with yourself, with the person you see in the mirror.
exactly. Wow. Wow, that was a lot because right now we live in such, you said it, a performance world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything is about the other person.
Yep.
And you know what's so interesting about that? normally we're trying to put on so we can be accepted or viewed in a certain light with other people. And their stuff is so jacked up because they're doing the same thing.
Performing, performing.
Performing.
That's
Yes,
correct.
yes, yes.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. So, okay. Now, on this journey, as you are beginning to let go of some things, you're
Hmm.
realizing everybody can't go with you. How has
Absolutely.
that transition been for you? Because people will get mad at you and don't even realize you're in a transition stage right now. They don't care.
You're
How
right.
has
And
it been for you?
that was one of the hardest things, really, because when you're having to kind of like isolate yourself, as God is preparing something, as you know, for the future. Like right now, there are some things that was written in like broken mirrors that I wrote some months ago that was able to help out someone in a current situation that they're
Okay.
dealing with now. But I had to isolate myself. Sometimes when you have to isolate yourself and you can't, bring people with you, some people don't understand. I can't come right now, and I can't do this right now. Oh, and it's like, well, you're always so busy. You're always busy. It's not being busy. It's about what God wants me to do, because He's working on
Ooh, say it
something that's
again.
going to be bigger later on that you can't really see. I may not be able to do a lot of the things that a lot of people are doing. That's part of being peculiar. That's
Yes,
part of being set apart. And that's part of, assignment. If I have to use a word, when you're on assignment, you are basically closed out from a lot of the things that a lot of people are doing. How would I be able to write Unmasking the Real Me and Broken Mirrors in under 6 months if I were not, set aside? That's definitely serious to write 2 books in under a year.
that is a lot.
No,
Yep.
3 books.
I know. We ain't even talk about. We're gonna get into that third one that's coming.
How about that?
But
My gracious.
what's interesting when you know that right now, you know exactly where God has you, and you are making yourself the priority in your life because it's only going to benefit those down the road. I
That's
mean,
right.
even right now, when you think about it, you have these books that's in the marketplace right now, so people globally can tap in to your story to find themselves in your story.
Wow.
And so
Wow.
I'm so happy for you because you have taken a stance to understand what season of your life you're in right now. And you're
Yeah.
definitely in a season of birthing, 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 birthing. And I
My
know them
gracious.
pains, girl. Sometimes them birthing pains.
But Germaine, I share in Unmasking the Real Me about a valley experience. I feel like God has had me in more valley experiences than He's had me on mountaintop experiences. But
Mm,
I feel like, as a result of the valley experiences, is where I could, discover who I am in the valley. So, the valley wasn't there to destroy me, it was there to position me so that I can share my testimony and that my testimony can be on display for
whew.
everyone.
Talk about it. Talk about it. I hope you guys are really finding yourself, even in the discussion today, because, oh, she's speaking to my soul. I told you it was therapy for the soul.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, when I read the topic, therapy for the soul, I was like, oh my God,
Who's she
therapy
talking
for the
about?
soul? Yes, these books are definitely therapy for the soul.
They really are. They really are. And the thing is, people can resonate with them. People will find themselves on the pages of these books
Yeah,
because today, in this climate, everybody's dealing with something. And people just need
so
to be reassured. They need to have hope. They need to
yeah,
know that someone has come this way
that's
and
correct.
mine won't be in vain. Let me
That's
just find
correct.
her footsteps so I could just step in them and I don't have to create new ones?
And it gives them hope, it gives them
Absolutely.
hope. And a lot of times people couldn't look at my life for those who were like within proximity, close proximity of me, and they saw a lot of the stuff that I were going through. And the songwriter said, "You don't understand it now, but you will by and by." But what does not destroy you, you have to know it has to be for a testimony for someone. Just think of this for a second. When Jesus walked the earth, he was able to perform miracles. He was able to, show himself in performing so many things like healing and, giving hope to those who are hopeless. But he has to use his people now through all of our, things that we go through. But some people don't want to go through. They don't want to be broken. They
Yeah.
want to hide underneath and, run and escape. But sometimes we just have to let God do what he's going to do through us so that our lives could be a testimony for those who are going through at the same time.
So, I share even on Morning Brew, and I
Uh-huh.
tell you, it's amazing how, as God allowed me to bring authors in studio with us, how messages just really align. And
Yeah.
so, just being able to understand, like you stated, our testimony. So, when we see that we're going through some trying times, and it's like, God, how
Mm-hmm.
did I even end up here? God, why me?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Those are
there's
all
a
my
higher
questions.
purpose. There's a higher purpose for you. And
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
knows that I can trust you with what I'm going to take you through.
Yeah.
No one ever
Yeah.
said it would be easy,
That's correct.
but thank
But
God for joy in the morning.
when exactly, but when we're broken, think about like when I was doing a prop for broken mirrors, I was trying to break a mirror, right? And I was trying to break a mirror. I was like, God, this mirror is hard to break. And God said to me, this is how my humans are when I'm trying to break them. It's hard for me to break
Oh,
them. And he showed me when I actually had a chance to break each mirror. I broke like 6 mirrors, and
oh,
each mirror broke differently. Some broke in many pieces, some
yes.
just shattered, some broke, big pieces, some broke smaller pieces. And that was a reminder for me to let me know that broken mirrors is all of those different types of breakings. Do you understand what I'm saying? But if we just allow God to break us, we're not going to go back to the same person we were before, because that's the whole purpose. The purpose
Exactly.
is for him to repolish us, for him
Woo.
to take all the pieces, even the sharp ones, and mending them back and him smoothing them out. But if we just allow him to do that, we will become much greater, better people for each person around us.
Oh my goodness. As you were saying that there's different pressure points.
Yeah,
Everybody's not going to break with the first hit, right?
absolutely.
Even when we think about our own lives, think about our own journeys before
Yeah,
getting to where we sit today, right?
yes.
How hard, how hard was it when we were being broken?
Mm,
Because there's a fight. You are going to fight to stay in a place of comfortability. Nobody wants to feel uncomfortable.
absolutely.
And you talked about
Nobody
being
wants to be
isolated.
broken. Who wants to be
Nobody,
broken?
exactly. Because you know what? I really believe that if we can control our day to day, which
Hmm.
let me tell you all a secret, we don't control nothing.
Thank you. That's why
But
I'm
we
sitting
hold
here.
on. That's it.
It's
You,
a,
you've come to realize control does not belong to me.
we have to surrender at some point. Sometimes,
Surrender.
when we try to control everything, Germaine, we just make a mess of it. We think we're doing it, but we're not.
Exactly. But you know what? We will fight to the end, holding on to that thing.
Hmm.
Only for when the time comes, if it's taken from us, if it's done, if it's settled,
Hmm.
not by our will, because we want to keep that thing that was not good
Yes.
for us. But
Yes.
when we
Yes.
release it,
That
only to
part.
say, how many times have you said, I cannot believe it took me all these years and he was trying to get my attention way back
Yes.
then? I always say our lives are a series of decisions that we make. And decisions will get you into stuff, And decisions will take you out of stuff and
Yes,
put
it
you on the
will.
right path.
It absolutely will.
So, but I keep hearing as you're talking is let go, let go, let go.
And that's hard.
Release
Some
yourself.
people, especially if you're alpha female or alpha male, nobody wants to let go and let God because they feel like if they can control what they have in their present sight, their hand, that they can control that. But a lot of times we don't realize as being alpha females, alpha males,
Hmm.
you can't really control anything because it's like you're chasing your tail. You're going
Yes.
back to the same place. You keep chasing. You're like, well, I'm keep seeing the same thing. I'm keep going through this. Well, why am I keep going through this? Because God is trying to break you and you're not allowing him.
Ooh. Wow. Wow. That breaking, I'm telling you, how many right
Mm,
now is dealing in I mean, you're in a place right now. You know God is breaking you right now. I saw a young woman on, I think it was TikTok. I was scrolling through
yeah.
and she began to pray and just crying. And I wish I had put the video on
Mm,
because it's so befitting. Just crying in her prayer about God, I try to do everything right. I tried to make sure. I try, and
yeah.
why am I going through? Why is it so hard when I look at other people? It feels like they just living, they're doing, they got it all together. And the one thing I just wanted to say, one, I wanted to just reach out and give her a hug.
Oh,
It's
yes.
that God understands and knows the pain that you're dealing with. But baby, it is something he is preparing you for. So you got to
Yeah,
go this route. You got to
it
go this
is.
route.
You have
And
to. It's
for
all a
us,
part of growth. It's all a
yeah.
part of growth.
And how long did you feel like you were in a season of just going through? How long was it that you felt? I thought I turned that off.
My whole entire life until just recently. Again, like I mentioned, it earlier, is that I was performing.
Yes.
When you are so used to performing, it is who you are until
You
you
become.
unmask yourself,
That's it.
you know, and then even after unmasking, you are becoming, which means it's still a process. It's still a process of, becoming that person who's having an identity crisis, being able to recognize who that really true person is underneath all of those masks.
Yes. Absolutely. So, I love the word becoming. I
Yeah,
just do because it shows you a journey that you're going to endure to get to the place of purpose, destiny, or just where you belong, right? And
yes.
so, even in that, I talk about on this pathway, on this journey, this thing called life.
Hmm.
Never despise the length of the journey because that's when you're going to get everything you need to prepare you for when you get to that destination of
That
where
is
you need
something
to
else.
be. And but in you're evolving. And so it's you talked about it earlier, just how people, when people don't understand, clearly they're not going to understand what you're dealing with because let's be honest, you don't even understand what you're dealing with
Absolutely.
as you're being broken going through this process. But just
Yes.
have a willing spirit and a willing heart to
Mm,
say, God, I'm here. I'm here. And you know
yes.
what's best for my life. It don't feel good, God. So I need you to help me through this. I need you to help me through this because I don't even understand from day to day, moment to moment, minute to minute. But all I know is I trust you through this process. And so you sit here today because you trusted him through this process
Absolutely.
and not just trusted him. You decided to be obedient and document it.
And documented. That is absolutely correct. But I will say, I didn't just sit and write these books to make money. I didn't sit and write these books um, just to have them put on shelves. These books are part of an assignment. And because God is trying to speak to the body of Christ, He's trying to speak to each individual. And a lot of times, when you have a person who has gone through spiritual warfare, who have gone through just a whole bunch of valley experiences, and then can still come out and look like they have not been through what they've gone through,
Yes,
and be
no
able to birth
residue.
two books at one time.
Yes,
People
yes,
need to be running to go get these books to see how God can speak to them. It
absolutely.
has to be something. This is divine. It's definitely not me. You understand what I'm saying? This is all God given. This was an assignment. And when I said yes to him some years ago, when you say yes, he said, okay, well, she's my willing vessel. I'm going to use her. And we don't get to pick and choose how we're going to be used.
Ooh, talk about it.
Sometimes that comes with being broken and
Exactly.
having to unmask
Mhm.
and having to put your life on display.
Yes, yes. You when we think we got it all together, boy, God has such a sense of humor, huh?
He does have a sense of humor.
He was like, "No, my child, that is not what I'm requiring of you. Now let me tell you what the plans I have for your life." Because I'm going to put that on display.
Okay.
But so even in your brokenness, and as you, because right now you actually share with a lot of people. I know you just had your book launch event not too long ago,
Yeah.
and you didn't expect as many people to show up, but they
I
did.
really did not. I really did not. Only because, and I think the majority of people who did show up, some of them knew bits and pieces of my journey.
Yes.
And they wanted to come to not only support, but they wanted to know what I was unmasking. They wanted to see, hold on, what is she unmasking? Let's see what this lady is unmasking. Is there something more to her that we do not know? Well, listen, here it is, unmasking the real me. And listen, I'm going to tell you, some of my family members said to me, you did great with unmasking, but you really could have unmasked a little bit more.
Oh,
You
not
could put a
family.
part two. Yes. And I'm like, this is
Family.
enough.
Family's always the hardest critic. They're always the ones that's trying to shut it down. But they're
Listen,
encouraging you. Okay,
they
I hear
want
part
they want to
two.
know more. We want to know, well, what's going on? What happened to this? How much time? And
Oh,
we know in chapter 3 and we know in chapter 4, they were going in. And let me tell you, when they started reading Unmasking the Real Me, it
yes.
was not put down. It was read all within like 3 hours.
Exactly. But that's what it is. It's the page turner. It's one of those books that's a page turner, because you know what? The more you read, the more you want to find out what's happening next. So
Yeah,
I want to just share a few comments that's coming through. So we have Jessie Moss 92775. She says, I am my sister. And you probably get a lot of that. People that identify, understand. It may be different stories, but the same story, you know?
absolutely. Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
just want everybody to come out a little bit more and talk about it because it helps give everyone hope. It helps those of us who are like ministers, who in leadership. Like, how can we help other people if they think that we're so perfect?
Yeah.
We're not perfect. We do have stuff that we carry, and it's okay for us to. And I said at the launch, it's okay to not be okay sometimes.
Thank
Just
you.
don't stay there.
Thank
Just
you.
don't stay there. It's okay to not be okay.
Exactly. I think God truly honors us in our authentic state, our
Yeah,
brokenness, when we say, God, this is me, as
that's
broken as
right.
I am. Here I am. But like you said, we don't have to keep performing. You
That's
know,
correct.
I talk about I talk about being the lead role in your life, because a lot of times we give those roles up when we allow people to come in to now dictate our story. And instead of us standing up saying, no, this is my life, my story, just like with you. So, and I'm saying this because it's taken an ownership over one's life
Uh
to
huh.
be the lead in your life, the one God is requiring for your story, you, not
Yes.
somebody
Yes.
else.
That's
And
correct.
so that's not performative. And I'm saying this because I use
Yes.
that analogy. It's not performing. I'm not asking you to go perform. I'm asking you to be authentic
Be
in oneself.
yourself. That's correct.
Yes. as he can use you to be for him, his glory. And so I just want to share a few more with you. Okay. We have,
Yeah.
please, guys, forgive me if I mess your name up. Okay. So I'm going to attempt this. We have Arula Kilson. Please, I hope I said that right. She's over on Instagram and she says, if he did it for you, he'll do it for others.
That's
God has
correct.
no respect of person.
That's correct.
That
Especially if they're people, allow their true selves to allow God, because he sees everything. He sees us. He
yes.
knows us. And, we are more performative around everybody else, but everybody don't realize the true person who sees us is the ultimate person. And
Mm.
that's God himself, you know.
And you know what's funny with that? Because we know who we are when nobody's around,
That's correct.
when there's no applause, there's nobody looking to comment, to give an opinion. But when we're in that space with oneself,
Hmm.
people probably, I'm quite sure they struggle with themselves because they know they have to get up the next day and perform because that's how they're orchestrating their life to be. And what you're telling them is no, be authentically you. Take
That's
off the
correct.
mask, take off the
That's
layers,
correct.
love you like he loves you.
That's correct.
Ooh, so we have over here on Facebook, we have Teresa Merritt Watson. Hey, Teresa. Pastor are people too. Now, she just tapped into something because you probably very well know the pastors. I always say, who do they go to when they have to just release, when they have to let go? So, do they find themselves in a place whereas they feel like they have to, and I hate to say this, um, perform for the people per se, when they're
Hmm.
probably struggling with God, use me as I am.
Hmm. And I think it's hard as a leader too,
Yes,
Germaine. I think we have to allow the people to see us vulnerable as well so that they can be able to come to us more. Sometimes, you know, we're performing again. That puts us back to performing where we want people to see us like that, all those masks on hard. And, but God want us to be able to be approachable. Let people know that, we've gone through these things and this is what's going to make me a better minister to you because God got me through this. You know what I
yes,
mean? So
yes, yes. And it's it's okay that we don't have it all together. I
it's
have to tell
okay.
you, you know what? I don't know if it was last week, a few weeks ago. I literally got on. This is an outlet for me. This morning brew with Germaine is an outlet for me, and I know
Yeah.
it is God given. I know it's God's assignment for me, right?
Awesome. And you keep walking in it.
But I got on one morning because I literally was crashing out.
Mm,
And you know what? And it wasn't so much just spilling out over everybody. It wasn't that at all.
mm-hmm.
It was when I share on Morning Brew, I am the first partaker of the messages that come forth on Morning Brew. And so
Yeah,
I just invite people, if they want to get a little bit of what I'm getting, come in for a coffee break, right?
that's correct.
And so I just found myself being okay with being vulnerable
Yeah.
because sometimes we don't know how to ask for help, you know? And as you begin to even open up in your stories to share these books, when you found yourself in an isolated place, sometimes you got to walk alone. And you were in that
Mm-hmm.
season, you had to walk alone.
Yes. That's the only way this was able to get done.
Absolutely. But how do you find it? Is it hard for you to seek and ask for help?
Well, again, under the performative mask, when I had on all the masks, I was dealing with the spirit of pride where I didn't want to ask for help. I wanted people to just come to me and I'd be their problem solver. But who was I going to? I would, cry over. I had a small women's group that I had that, during COVID, we got together and we would come together every Monday night. And
Yeah.
when I tell you that was the small group that I could be vulnerable with, I felt like, these are the women that I was able to share and we were sharing with each other. But,
Yeah.
we kind of like got out of it because we noticed that it was not isolated as much anymore. We wanted to be able to have an outlet for sisterhood, but we found that it was, being open outwardly. So we needed to, that was my space and our space that we have. But, technically, a lot of people don't go to a lot of people because out of fear of you're going to hear your business again,
Absolutely.
so, and, people,
Wow.
listen, we just
Yeah.
got to be okay. And we just got to be able to take our, you know, people stuff to God. And there's a chapter inside of Broken Mirrors. It talks about praying for the person. It says, are you praying for me? But are you?
Mm.
It's like pray for me. It's like this performative thing on Facebook, Instagram, more like Facebook, where people are coming to Facebook with their problems and they're everybody putting up these praying hands.
Yeah.
And that's performative to me, but are you really praying? Because if these people had to, live off of your prayers, would they really be surviving off your praying for
Oh my
them?
gosh.
You know what
Wow.
I mean? We have to be real. We have to, is heaven back in that praying hand that you're putting up?
Oh my gosh. You just dropped a bomb.
Well, it's in Broken Mirrors. Get it. They got to get it. Look, Broken Mirrors and Unmasking the Real Me, it has to be got.
Yes. You just dropped a bomb, but you know what? Once again, is being truthful. And because if somebody is going to expose their vulnerabilities, then
Hmm.
that means they're really seeking prayer. They are really
Absolutely.
seeking for someone to get a message through, for their situation to change. So,
And
wow.
instead of us putting up praying hands, we need to be on the spot. If we cannot outwardly pray where we are, we need to pray in our spirits. Because if
Yeah.
people say, pray for me, we need to go in right now, you
Yes.
know?
Absolutely. You touched on something, and we need an outlet. We're human. So we
That's
do
right.
look for the human connection, having an outlet. No one's purpose to journey this life by themselves. We're
Absolutely.
all looking for a sense of belonging. We're all looking to be loved.
That's
And
right.
and at the end of the day, you said it, wanting to be able to have a pure, safe space
That's
where
correct.
you can take the mask off, where you can
Hmm.
really be vulnerable, where you can connect spirit to spirit and really
Hmm.
find resolve, find
Yeah.
answers
Yeah.
and solutions in it. And you know what? It's almost like anybody that's stepping in, one of the requirements is leave the mask at the door.
I
That's
love
it.
it. I love it.
That's it. Leave the mask at the door, because this is a place of pure purging and really going in. And you know what? To be able to, on this journey, to find people in your life, it's so special that you have that connection.
Hmm. And as a result of these books, I pray that God can bring a community of women and men together where they can kind of like commune with each other and
Yes.
strengthen each other. The Bible says, the iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
So we have to be able to come together and be able to fall in the hands of my sister or my brother without being judged. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Absolutely. Who? How you feeling?
Great. How about yourself?
I feel good. Oh my gosh, this was so much. This felt like cleansing. This felt like a purging,
Yeah.
for those
Yeah.
out there that's connecting. I hope you're able. If it's not for you, you probably know someone that can be blessed by this. But you know what? I think on our life's journey, we've all experienced some form of your stories
Yes.
somewhere
Yeah.
along the journey, because even when you talk about the identity, um being able to find oneself, we didn't just enter into this world knowing exactly who we were, what our purpose was. We're on a journey of seeking that out. Some may know, others may not know. And so when you don't know who you are, and I want to say this, your identity, starts with him.
Amen. And the
But
identity crisis is basically, when you see other people performing, you pick up their identity. And that's where the
yes,
identity crisis come in. We're picking up a piece from everybody and trying to make ourselves, instead of looking towards him and
yes,
allowing him to identify us through him and him through us. You know what I mean? Not other people.
exactly. So that in itself, think about it. Think about what she just said. You talking about confusion, already
Mm,
trying to figure out who you are, but now you're taking on all these other spirits, you're taking on these other
identity.
identities.
Yeah.
Now you all confused, trying
Hmm.
to figure out. And it's so interesting because it's like when you start looking like that other person that you admire, that it's
Hmm.
like, where are you in there? Where are you? It's okay to be still. It's okay to be isolated in order to
Isolated.
be able
That's
to
right.
discover your true purpose, your true essence, who he's required you to be in this
Yeah.
big picture,
Yeah.
right? So
Absolutely.
I want to share this also. Um, Arula Kilson says society has us believe vulnerability is weakness. Absolutely. Therefore, we become resilient and self reliant, not
Yeah.
asking for help from anyone, even God. But the relief comes when we surrender to God.
That's
Amen.
correct. That's true.
Yeah.
Amen.
And she touched on something when she stated that society have us believing we can't cry before people because it's a sign of weakness. And my heart goes out to men because men
Yes.
feel like I'm not a man, I can't show emotions, I can't show vulnerability. And I just want to thank God for my husband because
Yeah.
being able to be in a safe space that if you need to be vulnerable,
Yes.
it will never be weaponized against you. And that's the thing because men, if you turn it back on a man to weaponize his vulnerability, you might as well say, we're done
That's
because he
right.
will never trust, you know?
That's
So,
another whole talk show by itself,
oof,
because I tell you the truth. I raised three amazing young men. And as a mother, I was one to tell my sons, suck it up. Don't cry. We are the ones who teach our men,
because that's how we're
children,
taught.
to not cry. But
Yeah,
it's okay for a man to cry. It's okay for a man to be vulnerable. And that's why we find that a lot of men, it's hard for them to, a lot of them are
exactly. Become
broken
broken.
because they don't want
Exactly.
to seek out counseling and all those types of things. Therapy is good. Therapy is good for the soul.
Yes, it is. Therapy is good for the soul. And you know what's
Therapy
so
is good for the
amazing?
soul.
We as Black people, okay, we have been programmed to believe therapy is not for us. But if
Therapy is for us, I would say.
listen, one of my really close friends and also a mentor, he said every Black person needs to be in therapy. There's just too much history and trauma as a people that we have experienced, that we're still experiencing, not to have an outlet to be able to release that. Therapy is safe. Now, trying to
We
find the
can,
right therapist,
yeah.
that may put you on a journey all in itself, but
Mhm.
I mean, I would love to be able to connect with those that really have a heart for the people, really, truly, authentically want to see people be healed. But
Absolutely.
therapy, I encourage everybody to find that safe space.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because see, listen, we could be here all day talking about this all day long. Is there anything you want to leave? Now, we do a portion called the final sip. And in the final
Okay.
sip is where we pretty much kind of bring it all to a close. I know people have to get back
Hmm.
to work, but we truly appreciate you stopping by today. But
Yeah,
is there anything you want to leave and share with those?
absolutely. So if you remember nothing else from today, remember this: mask may hide the pain, Mirrors can show the cracks, but God always see the real you.
Oof.
And he's still calling you chosen, loved, and you are more than enough.
Ah.
And that is what I want to leave with you guys today.
Whew. I'm gonna clap on that one. Are more than enough.
You are more than enough.
Because it doesn't matter what you have gone through, God can still choose you.
You're still chosen.
You're still chosen.
Yes.
I love that. So please let me once again, I just want to please make sure you go out, go to Amazon and get your copy. Okay. And I'm going to also, let me just put up the QR code so it makes it easier for you just to take your phone out, flip it around. If you're watching this, scan the barcode and go
Hmm.
support. Find yourself, or you know what? Holiday season is coming up. Give someone a gift to help them along their journey of healing.
And these books are about healing. And if you know
That's
people that need healing, gift these books to other people,
true.
even
Yeah,
if you do not want to read them for yourself. Gift them to young ladies in college, to young men in college. Gift them to your wife, your husband. These books are tools
absolutely.
for healing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So make sure you stop by and get that. And if you forget or if you missed any parts of Authors Brew Friday today with Joe Lavette Pressey, all you have to do is go over to our YouTube channel, Morning Brew with Germaine, subscribe and hit the notification so you never miss an episode. And so
Okay.
you can always play it back, right? They can always play it back. So, what I want to do in wrapping up, I just want to leave a few things. She has said it all. You know, she has really taken us on a journey behind the scenes of her life, being able to share how she even came to the place of birthing these two books. And
Hmm.
as she said, it wasn't easy. She found herself
Hmm.
isolated on this journey, but trusting God in the process. And I'm quite sure it didn't start out there, right?
No, it did not.
So remember, if you're listening today, just know this: you were never lost, only layered. And every layer you shed reveals more of the powerful person God created you to be. So here's to showing up as your whole self, unmasked, unbroken, and unstoppable. Ah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for just finding the time to share your story with us on Morning Brew
Thank
with
you for
Germaine.
having me. Thank
She is
you.
definitely a friend of the she's definitely family. HOV Publishing. Now, I do want to say this, and I'm going to put it up on the screen, okay? So, for anyone that wants to reach out to Joe Lavette, you can reach out, hit her up in her Gmail at caprionpublishing@gmail.com. She's not just publishing books, but she has put it under the umbrella of her publishing company. Now, I want to say this before we go because, okay, granted, we talked about these two, but
Mhm.
stand by because she does have she does have a new book that she is working on right now, and I want to leak that out there so when people start connecting with you, they'll know to look for Cover Me Until I Rise.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Cover Me Until I Rise. It's almost like a trilogy. It is a trilogy. It's Unmasking the Real Me, um, Broken Mirrors, and then Cover Me Until I Rise. It's just an outlet, like saying, Lord, out of all of this that I've been through, please cover me until I rise. It's a 40-day women's devotional, and it's a built-in journal. And when I tell you, it is so enlightening. It is just so beautiful. And inside that particular book, I had my 16-year-old granddaughter write 2 chapters.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, so it is going to be an amazing book for women and young ladies to read. And it's going to be a 40-day daily journey
Yes.
changing journey for them, for
Wow.
all of us.
Wow. And when can people expect that book to come out?
Well, we're going to say probably late fall.
Got it. Got it. That's right around the corner.
Late fall.
Definitely in time for the holiday season. That's what
Yeah.
it sounds like. So then you can have
Hmm.
all three Tobias gifts.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Well, it has truly, truly been a pleasure. Thank you so much for stopping by to have coffee
Thank
with
you
me
for
on Morning
having me.
Brew.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm quite sure she will be back because she has another book to talk about. So until then, we'll say not goodbye, but we'll see you later, right?
That's correct.
Have a great one, guys. Please be safe over this weekend. Um, please be safe. And also, if you find that you need a little therapy for the soul, then you know what? Snuggle up with Lavette Pressey's two books.
Yeah.
Yes. And once again, Unmasking the Real Me from Struggle. Let me just put that up. From Struggle to Strength and Broken Mirrors, Revealing the Identity Crisis. So, with that being said, have an amazing weekend. And, like I always say, I do love you guys from the heart, taking time out of your busy schedules to show up and be a part of Morning Brew with Germaine. Lavette, until the next connection moment, I will see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye bye now.